Lando is seen as a rising young star in Formula One, but with McLaren facing a lot of problems this early in the year, that start might be dimming again. Did Lando Norris's career end before it really began? Stay tuned because all of that and more is coming right up. First up, the big stage. From the moment he stepped into the Formula One car to test a McLaren in 2017, Lando Norris showed potential for success. McLaren's racing director said that he showed maturity, professionalism, and speed in his first session and that the team had big hopes for him. Then when Stoffel Van Dorn was shown the door by McLaren, Lando was next in line. He was still a teenager at the time, and it was a big step up in the world. Lando had been grinding it out and traveling for competitions for more than 10 years. He put in the work, and it was starting to pay off. Lando had partnered with Carlos Sainz for the 2019 season, and things couldn't have gotten better. Considering that McLaren were in a rebuilding phase, Lando's results were pretty good. He managed to finish the season 11th place in the Drivers' Championship with 49 points. Not bad for a first year. McLaren were on the right track, and in 2020, Lando finished even higher in the championship. He scored a podium at the opening race of the season in Austria in a nail-biting finish to the race. Hamilton was ahead of him in third place, but had a 5-second penalty. That meant that Norris had to finish less than 5 seconds behind Hamilton to win third place. Norris was more than a second down, but then shocked everyone by setting the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. He squeezed onto the podium after finishing 4.802 seconds behind Hamilton. Lando was a capable young driver and he was joining a growing team. Now, a magical history. McLaren is a racing team with heaps of history. They've won 12 Drivers' Championships and 8 Constructors' Championships. Their drivers include legends like Niki Lauda, Alain Prost, and Ayrton Senna. It was also where Lewis Hamilton started his career alongside Fernando Alonso, but from 2013 onward, the team started to fall back to the middle of the grid. They suffered from a lot of reliability issues. In 2015 alone, they had to retire their car 8 times out of 19 rounds. In 2014, after decades of leadership from Ron Dennis, the leadership changed hands and an American named Zach Brown was brought in as executive director. There was a lot of work to be done, and Zach got straight into it. McLaren changed engine suppliers to Honda between 2015 and 2017, but that didn't work out so well for them. They were still finishing toward the back of the grid. So in 2018, they switched again to Renault engines and had some promising results. They finished 4th in the Constructors' Championship in 2019, which was their best result since 2012. They were on a roll and decided to make another change. They decided to use a Mercedes engine from a 2020 season onwards. Mercedes had been dominating for the previous 8 years of the championship, and so it made sense. If you can't beat them, join them. They finished 3rd that year, beating Racing Point to the spot by just 7 points. Daniel Ricciardo won the Italian Grand Prix in 2021, which was McLaren's first win since 2012 with Lewis Hamilton. To go with it, Lando Norris scored 3 podiums. McLaren were well and truly back in the race, and they were getting better and better every season. But nothing is certain in motorsport. When did Lando consider leaving McLaren? And when was he agonizingly close to getting his first race win? So don't go anywhere to find out. Now let's look at 2022. What's gone wrong? At the season opener in Bahrain, it could not have gone any worse for McLaren. In qualifying, Lando only managed 13th place while Ricciardo was down in 18th, and it didn't get too much better during the race. The two McLarens finished way down in 14th and 15th place. This is much further down than they were last season, and Lando is disappointed in how slow the car was. He said that it's not a simple fix. Zach Brown posted on social media that the team was just as upset as the fans were after the race and that they would not give up. Lando has said that he is expecting pain for the rest of the season. This was a big surprise to everyone, as the McLaren car impressed with strong performances in preseason testing. They even topped the timing sheets on the first day of testing, but they've clearly failed to deliver during the first race weekend of the season. It's not yet clear if it's the other times not showing their cards during testing, or this is a McLaren car running into issues in a real race. But either way, they are in big, big trouble. Lando's chances of winning a championship this year look slim to none. His odds of winning the championship are at 200 to 1. That will be nice to hear for Lando, but in the short term, he doesn't have much to look forward to. It looks like a long season ahead for him at the beginning of a contract that lasts until 2015. Is it too late to take that back? Maybe he was crossing his fingers. Next, 2021. F1, the highlight of his career. Lando did have some good news recently, so maybe he will remember Formula 1 fondly if he does go downhill from here. In 2021, he had 4 podiums and finished a respectable 6th in the Drivers' Championship with 160 points. Lando said in an interview that he thought that last season was the best season that he'd had so far. He said that he has achieved a lot and performed at the top of his game. Let's just hope that we don't look back at it as the best season of his career, but he is still yet to win a Grand Prix after some pretty lousy luck. The closest he got was the 2021 Russian Grand Prix. He had done everything right. He won pole position, he got the fastest lap, and he led for the majority of the race. It looks like he was finally going to claim his first race win in Formula 1. But then the rain came. It didn't seem like too much rain initially, but then a number of other drivers started to pit for intermediate tires. When asked if he wanted to change tires over the radio, he said that he could stay out until the end of the race. Maybe he was too excited to finally have the race win in sight, but it was a bad decision. Soon his McLaren was slipping all around the track and Lando was struggling to turn. He was helplessly slow, and Hamilton, Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz all eventually overtook him. Hamilton consoled him after the race, but Lando was devastated. He was so close, yet so far. Next, the big regret. Earlier this year, Lando admitted that he had little chats with a number of other teams last year. Before he signed his new contract with McLaren, Lando was approached by rival teams to try and lure him away. There's no doubt that many of them were very impressed by his performance last season. In a poll that included all of the team bosses from each different team, Lando was voted the 3rd best driver in 2021. This put him just below Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, and above his teammate Carlos Sainz. But did he make a mistake by turning them down? At the moment, it doesn't look like there are any seats available at the top teams, but it could have all been different if Lando had said yes to one of them. Could you imagine if Lando was driving in a Ferrari alongside Charles Leclerc, or in a Red Bull alongside Max Verstappen? That would be very exciting to watch. At the moment, with McLaren's performance so low and long-term problems ahead, Lando might be thinking twice about his decisions to commit to McLaren until 2025. But then again, some world champions have taken a few years to get there. Max Verstappen took 6 years to claim his first world championship, and Sebastian Vettel took 3 years to claim his first world championship. But he would have hoped to have been more like Lewis Hamilton, who managed to do it in just his 2nd season in the sport, especially after he's been compared to Hamilton so many times as the future of British racing. But patience is a virtue, Lando. Do you think Lando's career is going downhill, or will McLaren make a comeback? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.